Week 15 of the fantasy baseball season on its way here after the All-Star break has concluded. Here's a few pitchers I would look to drop this week here. The first guy is Joe Ross of the Washington Nationals. So Ross, I thought he was starting to get things going and come around, but on July 8th he went on the injured list with elbow inflammation, and obviously that doesn't sound good, especially in your throwing arm. So he's probably going to be out for a month or two at least, in my opinion, is Ross. And on the season, 87 and a third, a 5-8 record, 77 hits, 39 earned runs, 15 homers given up, 28 walks, 91 strikeouts, 4.02 ERA, and a 1.20 whip with 7 quality starts for Ross. So right there, I know those aren't the greatest of numbers, but Joe Ross, he was being a serviceable fantasy pitcher. But now going down with the injury, we're not going to see him for a while, like I mentioned here. And he's an easy drop this week. He's not like he's a top player where you're going to stash him on your injured list and wait for him to come back. And right now, he's only owned in 27% of league. A lot of fantasy owners dropped him over the last week. And in his recent outing, he pitched well, 6 2/3 on July 4th. 7 hits, 3 earned runs, a homer, 11 Ks, a 4.05 ERA, and a 1.05 whip with a quality start versus the Dodgers. But right now, Ross isn't that much of an elite pitcher where I would stash him on my injured list, and he'll be the first pitcher to drop this week. The second guy is Chris Paddock of the San Diego Padres. He's just been a nightmare to own this season as Paddock, and I know what he's capable of. We've seen it a few seasons ago, but right now, it's just a tough thing to own him this season. 4-6 record in 77 innings, 86 hits, 46 earned runs, 12 homers given up, 18 walks, 81 strikeouts, a 5.38 ERA, and a 1.35 whip with 5 quality starts on the season. In the last couple weeks here for Paddock, 11 innings, 0-1 record, 17 hits, 12 earned runs, 3 homers, 2 walks, 11 Ks, a 9.82 ERA, and a 1.73 whip with a quality start here. So right here, the last 2 or 3 outings, he's been hit pretty hard, is Paddock. And I know he still has major stuff, but right now, like I mentioned, he's just annoying to own in fantasy leagues, and he's not consistent at all. The last few games for him, July 2nd in Philly, 7 innings, no decision, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, a homer, a walk, 5 Ks, a 3.86 ERA, 0.71 whip and a quality start. July 7th versus the Nationals, he got hit around hard in that one. 2 innings, got the loss, 9 hits, 8 earned runs, a homer, a walk, 2 Ks, a 36 ERA, and a 5 whip. And then July 11th, right before the break, he came in relief versus the Colorado Rockies here, and he only went 2 innings in relief, 4 hits, 1 earned run, a homer, 4 Ks, a 4.5 ERA, and a 2 whips. So right here, he's not productive. He's not going deep into games, and he's only got 2 quality starts here, is Paddock, in the last month since June 13th. So right now, he's not a good starting pitcher. I thought he was going to turn things around, but at this point, if you're in shallow low leagues, he's an easy drop, in my opinion, this week. The next pitcher is Rich Hill of the Tampa Bay Rays. So Rich Hill, another guy who don't really go deep into games, but he's at least got a built-in excuse here that he's 41, 42 years old, is the lefty pitcher here for the Rays. On the season, 91 and a third inning, 6-4 record, 69 hits, 38 earned runs, 14 homers, 34 walks, 87 strikeouts. Still a pretty solid 3.74 ERA and a 1.13 whip with only 5 quality starts though on the season. In the last couple weeks here for Hill, 8 2/3, 0-1 record, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, a homer, 4 walks, 7 Ks, a 4.15 ERA, and a 1.27 whip. So Rich Hill, we know he's in a tough division as well in the AL East with the Red Sox, Blue Jays, the Yankees, Boston, obviously, like I mentioned, and the Baltimore Orioles. So right here, he's not been going deep into games. He's only reached 6 innings once, is Rich Hill, since May 25th. So right here, like I mentioned, he's up there in age, and he's just not going deep for this Ray team right now. Fantasy owners should drop him in more leagues. He's still owned in 56% of leagues, but I think that number should be at least under 50. The last few outings for him, June 29th at Washington, 6 innings, got the loss, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 homers, a walk, 2 Ks, a 6 ERA, and a 1.50 whip. July 5th versus Cleveland, 3 2/3, 3 hits, an earned run, a walk, 5 Ks, a 2.45 ERA, 1.09 whip. And July 11th versus the Blue Jays, 5 innings, got the loss. 4 hits, 3 earned runs, a homer, 3 walks, 2 Ks, a 5.40 ERA, and a 1.40 whip. So right now, in my opinion, he's just not cutting it as Rich Hill. And I still think he's a decent pitcher, but he's just not going in deep into games. Sometimes he's not qualifying for wins, and obviously quality starts. So right now, he's an easy drop, in my opinion, this week. The next pitcher is Michael Pineda of the Minnesota Twins. So Pineda came off the injury list last week, and he got racked up pretty good in that ball game. On the season for him, though, 61 and a third, 3-5 record, 61 hits, 28 earned runs, 11 homers, 15 walks, 55 Ks, a 4.11 ERA, a 1.24 whip, and 4 quality starts on the season. So Pineda, another pitcher here who's up there in age. I believe he's in his late 30s already. And he just don't go deep into ball games either, like Rich Hill. And obviously he's on a Twin team that's been struggling this season here, is Pineda. So right now he's owned in 40% of fantasy leagues. But right now, in my opinion, he's only a pitcher that should be owned in 14 to 16 team leagues, is Pineda. The last few outings for him: June 8th versus the Yankees, 4 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, no decision, 2 walks, 2 Ks, a 4.15 ERA, a 1.38 whip. June 13th versus Houston, 4 innings, got the loss, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, a homer, a walk, a K, a 6.75 ERA, a 1.75 whip. And July 7th, like I mentioned, in his return from injury versus the White Sox, 5 1/3, got the loss, 12 hits, 5 earned runs, a homer, 4 Ks, an 8.44 ERA, and a 2.25 whip. So right now, Pineda, he's an older pitcher. He's not going deep into games. He's not getting quality starts. He's never been a high strikeout guy either. And right now, he just don't have much fantasy value, in my opinion, for fantasy owners. So right now, if you're a Pineda owner, he's an easy drop here. And the 5th and final pitcher I look to drop here in week 15 is Steven Matz of the Toronto Blue Jays. So Matz, he got off to a great start the first month of the season here, starting 4-0. But right now, he's come back to earth here over the last 2 months of the season. 76 1/3 on the season, 7-4 record, 84 hits, 40 earned runs, 12 homers, 21 walks, 82 strikeouts, 4.72 ERA, and a 1.38 whip with 4 quality starts on the season for Matz. In the last couple weeks here, 6 2/3, 0-1 record, 11 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 homers, 7 Ks, a 9.45 ERA, and a 1.65 whip. So Steven Matz, just like those other guys, he hasn't gone deep into games. He was banged up a little for a little bit here, and he's just not a good pitcher, in my opinion. I've seen enough of him throughout his career with the New York Mets, and he was a 4 or 5 inning pitcher at best. And now in a tough AL East, he got off to a beginner's luck, in my opinion, early in the season. And right now, he pretty much has no value. The last few games for him: June 12th at Boston, 5 2/3, got the win, 4 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, 8 Ks, a 1.59 ERA, and a 1.06 whip. June 30th versus the Mariners, 2 2/3, no decision, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, a homer, 3 Ks, 13.5 ERA, 1.88 whip. And then July 6th at Baltimore, 4 innings, got the loss, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 4 Ks, a 6.75 ERA, and a 1.50 whip. So right here, it's not cutting it for Matz. He's still owned in 37% of fantasy leagues, but he's not bringing anything to fantasy owners or the Blue Jays for that fact. And right now, his last quality start was May 25th. So right here, he's a no-brainer drop. This week is Steven Matz. So that's a few pitchers I would look to drop here in week 15 of the fantasy baseball season.